Hey guys, I wanted to do just a quick general video for y'all of just talking about PCOS, which is something that I do have, and one of the main reasons I stay keto and low carb, and that is Polycystic Ovary Syndrome. It is a hormone imbalance that can cause issues and make it difficult to conceive just because it is a hormone imbalance, and it also has a lot of not fun physical side effects as well. I'm just going to give y'all a general definition of it. I mean, this is stuff you can look up just generally if you just Google PCOS or even Polycystic Ovary Syndrome. I'm just going to go through what it is and how I've seen some improvements for my symptoms after I have lost weight and going through the ketogenic lifestyle. Let's just go over a list of symptoms. I do have it written down because I am not that good at memorizing stuff. But let's start. Including but not limited to small cysts on the ovaries. Check. Those aren't fun. They feel like general cramps. I can feel them on my left or my right side. I've had that pretty much since I hit puberty. I just didn't know what it was. Now I know what it is. I know why it hurts. And Lord forbid you have a cyst that burst. Oh, Jesus. But it isn't a requirement to actually have cysts, even though it's called Polycystic Ovary Syndrome. You can have some of the other symptoms as well as certain hormone levels, and you can still actually have this issue. That is just one of the things I know I do have. I've had hemorrhagic cysts before. Suckers can get big. It's just something I monitor. I've had a couple ultrasounds just to make sure that nothing's getting too big, out of hand, and hopefully with proper diet, exercise, and treatment, you can shrink them and hopefully prevent too many from happening. Another fun issue is insulin resistance. It's not fun. It's really not fun. It's like being diabetic without actually being diabetic. It sucks. And yeah, I have that one. Definitely check there. Higher testosterone levels. I've had blood work done. I'm not extremely high, but I am on the higher end of the actual testosterone chart, which is probably why I have some of these other symptoms, which is one of them, my least favorite, the most unfun, and the one that makes you feel least ladylike, which is Hirsutism. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I tried to look up the pronunciation. That's probably wrong. But what that is, let's go over the definition I found for y'all. I'm going to read that off. It is a condition of unwanted, no duh, male pattern hair growth in women. Yeah. That's due to high androgen levels, in particular, I think the testosterone. It sucks. You get excessive amounts of stiff and pigmented hair on areas of the body that is usual to men. Such as fun areas is thicker and darker facial hair, the upper lip, generally sometimes sideburns, and definitely in the chin area. I used to have pretty big issues with up here, and I'm always still paranoid about it, and on the neckline. You also can get them in areas such as the chest, not really, not too bad. The belly area, you get that fun little happy trail like a guy gets. It blows. And then the back, thank God. I don't have the back. I mean, I'm not saying anything, it sucks, but mine's limited. Probably because I don't have the highest testosterone levels. I just have medium high, low high. But I do still have issues with a little bit here. It's just a little stiffer. And the belly, which means it just makes you generally uncomfortable, a little less ladylike, and it sucks. But I will say that is one area I've seen improvements with, and I will get to that in a second. Hirsutism is greatly affected by your genetic makeup, and it may arise from excess androgens, which the male hormones, like I was telling you about, primarily the testosterone. It's the worst. It is the total worst, and it's one of my least favorite things about PCOS besides the insulin resistance, painful cysts, and general suckiness of everything. Some other fun side effects. This is not one that I personally suffer with, which is the thinning of hair on the top of the scalp. I know a lot of ladies deal with that. I somehow got lucky with genetics. I have very thick hair, even though it has thinned since going through weight loss, but that's more of just a quick change in hormones and the drop of weight. But my hair is growing back, so that is not one I suffer with, but it is something that other people suffer with. And this one is kind of a general, and this was another sign for me. You can also, because it is a hormone issue, you can have irregular periods. Often women with PCOS only have about 9 periods a year or less. Some have none at all. And then there's those on the opposite end of the spectrum, this one right here, who have very heavy bleeding. Extremely heavy. Like, you feel like it's just too much. Like, there were times where I think I was getting a little anemic. I was having that much bleeding at the month. I think one of the times I did go in for an ultrasound, the doctor I went to at the time informed me that he saw one of the thickest uterine linings he had ever seen. Not exactly something you want to be praised. I mean, it's not to be praised for. I don't want to win that prize. I just want something normal. I do not want to feel like I am literally turning into a withered husk on that time of the month, my period. It's terrible. It's actually improved. Thank God. I can't stand feeling like I'm just sick. Like, I had to make sure I increased my iron. It was just terrible. And then, of course, another fun one would be depression. Check. That is something I have suffered with since puberty. Chronic depression. It is the freaking worst. You don't know why you're depressed. There's no real reason to it. I mean, it's something that I went on medication for years, and for me, it was triggered by a hormone imbalance. It was triggered by this stupid PCOS. Like, ugh. Like, a lot of these symptoms are things that I've had for a while, and just being able to put a name to something that has been troubling me for so long is just a relief in itself. So I want to go over with y'all some things that have improved for me. I have seen improvements since changing my lifestyle, and it's just like a new world. It's completely different. And for me, going low carb helps me keep track of that, or get in check my insulin resistance, which just makes me feel terrible. But in doing so, I've been able to get my food under control. I have lost weight, and in a combination, I think, of the foods that I now consume, which I think fuel me better, with the weight loss, I have seen drastic improvements with my Polycystic Ovary Syndrome. Hallelujah. And I want to go over those with y'all right now. Insulin resistance, I'm not having so many issues because I don't eat foods that spike my insulin. And a fun thing about insulin resistance, or just PCOS in general, is you do retain weight. You do have that issue with weight gain. You do have the issue with being able to lose weight. And I still struggle. I feel like it just, what would come naturally to some people, you just have to fight that much harder. You gain that much easier, and it's just that much more of a struggle. But it is possible to lose the weight. It is not, the diagnosis of PCOS is not the end of the world. You don't say, oh, that's my excuse, easy weight gain, hard to lose, it's that PCOS, darn PCOS, I can blame you for everything. No, you can take care of it. I will say, I do still have weight issues, and I do still retain a lot of weight in the tummy area. I feel like I have a lady spare tire, and I will always have trouble losing there. It's just, it's one of the things that happens, but I'm dealing with it, and I've made lots of progress. Next, higher testosterone levels. Lila, stop dropping your toy. I really don't know if that has improved too much, but I am planning on getting blood work done at the end of the year, because I just recently got my health insurance straightened out, which is something I've been waiting on because I just don't have the pocket change to do it without my insurance being straight. Ooh, now that that's straight, I can get that taken care of. I do plan on doing that since I have lost approximately 50-ish pounds since the last time I had a full blood panel, hormone level check, everything. That is something I am going to check. But I definitely think there's been improvement in that. My hormones have been extremely balanced. I can feel it. I used to have drastic mood swings. I was a crazy B word. I just had my moods. I felt like I was always just off, like anything could set me off. Now I feel calm, cool, and collected. I still have my moments, but I can literally feel my hormones have balanced, which I think has helped extremely with my depression, that chronic depression. I was on medication for years. I was always depressed. I didn't really have a reason to be, but sometimes depression doesn't have to have a reason. It just happens. And I haven't had as many depressive bouts since changing my foods. My anxiety is almost gone. I used to be a nervous wreck. You couldn't get me to go to a new place. I would freak out. I feel like I've just become a better, well-rounded person. And I do not miss that depression. I did have a bout of it when I lost my grandparents at the beginning of the year, all four within a short period of time. I mean, but I think that was just general depression. I don't think that was hormone related. I think that was just life related. But that chronic depression does not have a hold on me anymore. And I don't miss it. It can peace out. I don't want to see it again. Weight gain and trouble losing weight. I do still have trouble dropping. I am a slow loser, but I have lost weight. I started out 222 pounds. Excuse me, I was over 200 pounds. I'm only 5'5.5". I'm going to fudge there a little bit because I am not tall. I'm average. That's an average lady. But over about a year's time, I was able to drop that weight. I'm currently down to 170. I was a little lower. That fun depression at the beginning of the year shot that back up. But I am dropping again. So weight loss is totally possible. And I think the weight loss has gone hand in hand with my low carb eating. And it's just created that perfect little balance to get me where I needed to be. Next, we're going to talk about that hirsutism. That lovely male pattern hair growth. I have seen minor improvements to that. I'm not sure if it's from just the general weight loss or if it's from just the keto in general, but I think it's more just from the weight loss side because that is a way to help with lose weight, balance hormones, all that fun stuff. I used to have issues here, which I always still feel like I have a stash going, so I'm always checking. I used to bleach it and all that fun stuff near whatever, but I will say since I have lost the 50 pounds, since I've been low carb, since I've changed my food, since I feel more balanced hormonally, I don't have as many issues here. Like, it's non-existent. I feel like a lady again. I do still have to check every now and then, but literally I haven't had to near or bleach or do any of that in months. Like, Lila, stop. It's practically just, it's normal. I do still struggle a little bit here, but that's just a little coarser. And I think that's just for years of plucking and trying to get rid of it. It just left it behind. I do still have it on the tummy, which would make me feel uncomfortable if I ever did lose a lot of weight in the bikini, because I mean that's just not something you want to pluck or shave. It's just, you'd feel like you'd always be able to see it. As well as I have issues with thicker hair in the upper thigh. If I shave past the knee, it doesn't really help. I scar easy, ingrown hairs, all of that fun nonsense. So that I still struggle with. I don't have any on my back. I'm happy to say I do not have hair on my back. I am not that high in testosterone. I'm not that manly. Whatever. But I do still have it here and on the tummy. Not as bad as before. This is practically gone. Thank you. Thank you. That right there is worth it. Let's move on from that fun hairy topic. And the next thing, thinning of the hair on the scalp. Again, that was an issue I had. Irregular periods, non-existent periods, heavy periods. I do still have semi-heavy periods, but I don't feel like I'm getting anemic anymore. It has improved there. The cramps, they're nowhere near as bad. I used to get terrible cramps. I think it was from the heavy periods combined with the cysts. And I believe my cysts have shrunk. I do not get general pain on the ovaries as much as I used to. I used to get sharp pains, and that was from, I know that was the cyst that they had. I had a hemorrhagic cyst, but it hasn't bothered me in quite a few months. So that is somewhere I've seen great improvement. I will not miss them. I'm sure they're still there, just not as present, as evil, and nothing burst. Oh my gosh, that'd be terrible. That's like the worst pain you ever can think. It's just terrible. Like, you want to go to the hospital, you feel like you're dying pain. And infertility, trouble conceiving, I have no idea. I'm sure because I'm more regular hormonal, I wouldn't have as much issue with that anymore. There is a thing that people call keto babies because they have issues conceiving, they change their diet, their hormones get balanced, all of a sudden, whoops, they are ready to conceive, they've got a baby going, and sometimes it's faster than they expect, but that is not something I'm looking for right now, so I will not be able to tell you about that subject. I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much all of the side effects. That's where I've seen improvements. I've seen improvements in my insulin resistance. I have very good blood sugar levels. The higher testosterone levels, I think they've evened out a bit because I probably have less androgens or just testosterone in general, those male hormones, because I have seen improvement in the hirsutism, in the facial hair. My periods are regulated. They are like clockwork now, and keto is directly connected to my periods because whenever I do start strict keto, generally no matter where I am in my cycle, kind of like almost if I was on birth control, within a week it is there, it's ready, it's showing its face, I'm full flow, and that is because it affects my hormones. My food affects my hormones, and how I do with my food is very important to how I do just in general with life, and controlling my hormones is the #1 key. I actually found out about PCOS by researching keto because a lot of people a lot of ladies follow the ketogenic diet because it is very good for helping and improving the symptoms of PCOS. It's the world of difference. It's the best thing I've ever discovered. It's just what has made the biggest difference. It's improved my life. I don't even know how much. So if you have PCOS and you've tried everything, you've done birth control and it doesn't seem to help a lot, you've tried metformin but you're still having issues, I highly recommend at least giving this a shot. Do your research, find out what will work for you, what foods you think you would be okay with, and just give it a try. I mean, just try it. I've seen amazing results. I know other people have seen amazing results. And at the end of the day, this is about treating an issue for me. This is about health. This is about just everything, improving my life in general. And there are things that what they really recommend to help treat PCOS is regular exercise, change of diet, and weight control are great for treating this. It can help reduce unpleasant symptoms and prevent long-term health conditions, because some of these can cause long-term health conditions in women. Some also use medications like birth control and, like I said, metformin and other issues that they go to an endocrinologist because it's an endocrine issue, and they help present that. And you can go to your doctor for an official diagnosis. Don't just diagnose yourself. I went through the proper channels. I went to my doctor. I got tests done. This is just a few of the things that they generally do to check if this might be something that you suffer with. They will ask questions about your past health symptoms and menstrual cycle. Hormone related, of course that makes sense. They will do a physical exam checking for symptoms, including, not limited to, excess hair, high blood pressure. They're going to check your height, weight, and BMI category to see if maybe you're having some issues there. Just general physical things. They can do blood work, and they will check your blood sugar levels, your hormone levels, your insulin, just to make sure that they can rule out thyroid and other glandular issues that can cause similar symptoms to this. And they may also do a pelvic ultrasound, and that's to look for cysts on your ovaries, which is one of the things that helped confirm the diagnosis for me, because I do get cysts on mine. I know this got kind of long, I was kind of all over the place, but I hope that somebody finds this informational, helpful, what have you, and that hope this helps somebody. I hope somebody found this informational. I hope maybe it might help you figure out a way to control your PCOS, or maybe you didn't know this might be something that explains symptoms you've been dealing with for most of your life, and this is a way for you to go looking for a diagnosis so you can start treatment. Until my next video, I just want y'all to remember to hydrate, satiate, and celebrate throughout your day, and I will talk to you later, guys. Bye! Now I can go take the dog out. She has been ringing the bells and dropping toys. She's ready to go to the bathroom. So I will talk to y'all later. Bye, guys.